Good evening. Coventry City Council has withdrawn its opposition to the proposed high-speed railway line from London to Birmingham in the north. It's the first council to change its mind, and councillors are now going to spend £150,000 on lobbying for the best deal for the city.
But tonight, campaigners against the route are furious. They say it's a massively short-sighted move. Here's Ben Godfrey.
For 2.5 years, Coventry City Council has opposed HS2, fearing poorer rail services through the city. But the authority's now changed its stance to one of neutrality, neither for or against. And that's perplexed those opposing Britain's biggest rail project.
I think they're being massively short-sighted. We know that the HS2 business model calls for £7 billion worth of cuts to the existing rail network, which means fewer trains to Coventry. We know that the Frygate project, the redevelopment of the office blocks round the station, has been on hold ever since HS2 was announced. And this is only going to make things worse.
So why now? Well, senior Labour councillors believe the impact of HS2 can stimulate city centre regeneration and secure more services at Coventry railway station. And commuters there today using the West Coast Main Line had a mixed reaction.
I do think there should be a link to Coventry, partly because the job market in Coventry is quite depressed.
You won't be able to get it at Coventry station. You'll have to go to other stations that are going to be expressly built for it. So that's going to be time consuming in itself.
As a city, I don't think it'd mean a lot, to be honest with you. I don't think it'd change anything.
Though HS2 has cross-party support, 8 West Midlands MPs have restated their opposition this week, as it was revealed the estimated costs have gone up by £10 billion.
These changes include a tunnel from Old Oak Common to Northolt, design changes at Euston Station, and a tunnel under the M6 near Birmingham.
No one from Coventry City Council was available for interview today. Documents we've seen suggest the authority will spend £150,000 presenting the city's economic wish list to HS2 bosses. Coventry City Council has stood shoulder to shoulder with Warwickshire County Council in opposing HS2 over the years. Today in a statement, the County Council said while it was disappointed at this decision, it will continue to work with this authority and others. Ben Godfrey, BBC Midlands Today, Warwickshire.
So what does this tell us about the level of political support for the project? Our political editor, Patrick Burns, is with us now. I mean, presumably supporters of HS2 will be very encouraged by a change of heart from such a major local authority.
They will, Nick, and it will certainly sort of reinforce their view that the more local leaders drill down into the fine detail of what this project can offer our region, the more solid will be the support for it around our area. There is, of course, as we've heard, the question of the rising cost of the project, but certainly one leading supporter of HS2 told me earlier on today that that would actually make no real difference to the backing it enjoys at Westminster.
I think there's a lot of will on all sides, and the kind of jobs and infrastructure it'll bring to the area will be absolutely fantastic for this region. Not only that, you get from London to Birmingham in 49 minutes.
Of course, HS2 has some very influential opponents, doesn't it, including politicians who've got constituents living on the route. I mean, what are they saying about this week's developments?
Well, I think the debate among the antis, if I can put it that way, is moving on in an interesting way. I was talking to one of the council leaders in an area particularly affected by it, and he's less determined now to talk about the merits of building it or not, and more in terms of getting the best possible terms for the people in areas most affected by it.
Yeah, well, it carves through Staffordshire about 45 miles on phase 1 and phase 2. If they've got the money to put the extra, the extra cost in it, surely they can find the money to do compensation and some mitigation.
But how ironic, isn't it, that in the very week when we've heard the Chancellor working so hard to announce those economies from the Treasury, something like £11.5 billion, on the same day as that announcement came this revelation that building HS2 is going to cost £10 billion more. You really couldn't make it up, could you?
Couldn't indeed. Patrick, thank you. And Patrick will be back with the Sunday Politics from 11 o'clock on Sunday here on BBC One.
Coming up later on.